What if your quiet, ordinary morning suddenly turned into a nightmare? And the only thing standing between you and something terrifying was your cat. This is the shocking moment when a simple alley, a strange shadow, and one brave cat collided. And nothing in the neighborhood was ever the same again. The morning sun hovered low over the quiet neighborhood. A soft mist drifted between the houses. The air felt strangely cold for a summer day. Lena stepped outside with a sleepy yawn. Her breath trembled the moment she noticed the silence. No birds, no distant cars, only a stillness that pressed against her ears. Her cat, Miso, slinked past her ankles. His tail puffed with unease. His golden eyes fixed on the alley behind the house. Lena followed his gaze. A heavy shadow stretched across the narrow walkway. The shadow did not belong to anything she recognized. It pulsed once, as if taking a slow, deliberate breath. Her skin tingled. Every sound seemed to vanish. Even her heartbeat felt muted. Miso stepped forward. His small body stiffened. His ears twitched at a faint scraping sound from within the darkness. Lena smelled something metallic in the air. It clung to the back of her throat. The shadow shifted again. This time, something inside it moved. A silhouette rose, tall and crooked, bending unnaturally sideways. Lena gasped. The figure leaned toward her. Its outline flickered like a dying light bulb. Her legs refused to respond. The cold traveled up her spine. Miso hissed with a sound Lena had never heard before. He stood between her and the figure. His fur bristled, glowing faintly in the thin sunlight. The figure paused. Its shape twisted as if startled. A deep rumble echoed through the alley. The ground vibrated beneath Lena's feet. Miso took a single step closer to the shadow. His eyes brightened with a fierce, focused light. The silhouette recoiled. Its edges began to unravel like smoke pulled by an unseen force. The metallic scent thickened in the air. The shadow trembled. It stretched upward. It leaned toward Miso with a slow, threatening motion. Miso arched his back. His tail whipped once. A sharp sound cracked through the alley as if the air itself snapped. Miso's cry split the air like a blade. The sound surged through the alley with a vibrating force. The shadow reeled backward. Its form shuddered as if struck by an invisible wave. Lena felt the vibration roll across her skin. Her ears rang. The metallic scent deepened until it tasted like rust on her tongue. Miso stepped forward again. His paws pressed into the ground with deliberate precision. Every strand of his fur shimmered with a pale, warm glow. The glow pulsed in steady rhythm with his breath. The shadow responded with a slow ripple. Its crooked height stretched higher. Its long limbs scraped along the alley walls with a dry, grating rasp. Flecks of darkness scattered like soot. Lena's fingers curled against her sides. She wanted to call out to Miso. Her voice would not rise. Her throat felt locked by a cold weight. The figure began to bend. It leaned in Miso's direction with a smooth, unnatural glide. Its torso tilted too far to the left. Its head moved last, swiveling with a slow, grinding turn. A deep hum rolled through the air. It vibrated inside Lena's ribs. The hum felt wrong. It felt as if the air itself attempted to pull her forward. Miso stood unmoving. His pupils shrank into sharp slits. His glow brightened until the alley lit with a faint golden haze. The shadow hissed. It recoiled as if the light burned it. Its edges twisted sharply inward. Its entire form folded in on itself like crumpled paper. The ground under Lena trembled again. Fine cracks spread across the concrete like thin spiderwebs. A chill rose from beneath the surface. It curled around her ankles and crawled up her legs. Miso flicked his tail. The golden light rippled outward in a gentle wave. The wave passed over Lena with surprising warmth. The cold receded from her skin. The shadow screeched. The sound tore through the alley with jagged force. Windows trembled in their frames. Loose leaves spiraled into the air. Lena dropped to one knee. Her balance vanished beneath the sheer pressure of the noise. Her eyes blurred with sudden tears. Her heart hammered with chaotic rhythm. Miso did not flinch. He raised his head. He inhaled once with steady calm. The glow intensified into a radiant flare. The flare expanded across the alley. It wrapped around the shadow like a luminous net. The shadow wriggled and twisted in frantic patterns. Its limbs flailed with silent desperation. Lena watched with wide, unblinking eyes. Her breath remained trapped in her chest. Something inside the shadow began to crackle. Small fractures of light appeared within its darkness. The fractures widened with each pulse of Misa's glow. The shadow convulsed. Its form jolted in abrupt, unnatural angles. Its long torso bent sharply as if snapping. A shockwave burst outward. It pushed Lena backward across the ground. Dust filled the air in thick clouds. A dull roar echoed against the narrow walls. Miso braced himself. His small body flattened against the force. He pressed his paws deeper into the concrete. The golden light remained steady around him. Lena covered her face with her arms. Grit scraped across her sleeves. The shockwave howled past her and faded into silence. Her breathing returned with a shaky gasp. The dust settled slowly. Thin rays of sunlight pierced the swirling haze. Lena lifted her head. Her vision cleared just enough to see Miso standing tall. The shadow had changed. It hovered in a distorted shape at the far end of the alley. Its edges sagged as if melting. Its once towering form appeared smaller and less defined. Miso took a cautious step forward. The glow dimmed slightly but remained strong. The air around him shimmered with lingering warmth. The shadow shivered. A new sound emerged from it. Not a hiss, not a screech, a low, trembling moan that sounded almost human. Lena's breath hitched. The moan deepened into a vibrating tremor. It echoed with an emotion she could not place. Fear, anger, or something older than either. Miso stopped walking. His ears swiveled toward the sound. His tail lowered but remained tense. The shadow shifted again. It extended one wavering limb. The limb reached toward Miso with slow reluctance. The air cooled around it. Lena felt the temperature drop once more. The chill pressed against her skin like damp cloth. Her fingers trembled. A faint ringing filled her ears again. The shadow continued reaching. Its trembling limbs stretched farther. Its shape flickered as if struggling to stay solid. Miso lifted his chin. His eyes reflected the dim light with unwavering focus. He allowed the shadow to draw closer. The golden glow around him throbbed with calm steadiness. Lena tried to rise. Her legs weakened beneath her weight. Her hand pressed to the ground for balance. She forced herself upright one shaky inch at a time. The shadow halted only a few feet from Miso. Its form quivered with uncertain rhythm. Its limb hovered in the air like a question unspoken. A fragile stillness filled the alley. The sunlight thinned. The dust hung suspended as if time slowed. Lena's heartbeat echoed loudly in her ears. Miso lowered his head slightly. His glow softened. The light spread outward in slow ripples. Each ripple moved with gentle patience. The shadow responded. Its limb curled inward. Its upper body folded into itself. It trembled in a motion that resembled hesitation. Lena took a cautious step forward. Her breath steadied. Her voice finally returned as a faint whisper. She tried to call Misa's name. Before her voice reached him, the shadow jerked violently. Its entire body snapped upright with sudden force. A heavy thud echoed through the alley as if a massive weight shifted. The sunlight vanished behind a swell of darkness. The air tightened around Lena's chest. The cold returned in a sharp surge that sliced through the warmth. Misa's glow flared instinctively. The flare illuminated the alley with stark brilliance. The shadow expanded, doubling in size within seconds. Its limbs lengthened with unsettling speed. Lena froze once more. Her instincts warned her of a new danger. A deeper threat rose from the shadow's core. A presence that felt far stronger than before. The ground rumbled. Loose stones rattled across the pavement. A hollow roar formed deep within the darkness. The roar spiraled upward in rising intensity. Miso braced himself again. His pupils narrowed. His breath slowed into deliberate rhythm. The glow around him thickened into a protective aura. The shadow lunged. Its wide silhouette surged toward Miso with overwhelming force. The sudden movement sent a violent gust down the alley. The gust slammed against Lena and knocked her sideways. Her shoulder struck the wall. Pain shot through her arm in a sharp wave. She clenched her jaw and forced her eyes open. The shadow towered above Miso. Its immense body twisted with frantic energy. Dark tendrils spiraled outward from its surface. Each tendril moved with erratic hunger. Miso did not retreat. His glow surged upward like a rising flame. The light struck the tendrils with sizzling intensity. Each one recoiled with shrill spasms. The shadow roared again. The sound rattled every window in the surrounding houses. It shook the ground until dust poured from the rooftops. Lena pressed her hands to her ears. The roar intensified. It carried layers of voices within it. Some low and mournful, others high and trembling, all blended into a single overwhelming sound. The alley darkened further. The sunlight dimmed to a thin, distant glimmer. The air thickened with the weight of the shadow's presence. Lena felt it close around her like heavy fog. Miso stepped forward with steady purpose. His fur rose in a controlled bristle. His glow shifted from warm gold to sharp white. The white light pierced through the darkness. The shadow wavered. Its immense size buckled for a moment. Its tendrils thrashed with desperate motion. Its roar faltered into choked tremors. Miso raised his head higher. A single beam of white light burst from his eyes. The beam shot directly into the center of the shadow. The impact produced a resonant crack that shook the air. The crack widened. A bright fissure split the shadow open. Its form contorted around the fissure with frantic agony. Darkness poured from the opening like thick smoke. Lena struggled to stand despite the shaking. Her hand pressed against the wall for support. Her legs quivered beneath the force of the vibrations. Her eyes locked on the spreading fissure. The crack deepened with startling speed. The shadow trembled in collapsing motions. Each pulse of Misa's light widened the breach. The alley filled with blinding flashes of white. A low rumble rose from beneath the concrete. It rolled upward through Lena's legs. It surged into her chest with rattling intensity. Her breath caught in mid-inhale. The fissure reached the shadow's upper edge. Its towering form lurched forward. It leaned toward Miso in a final desperate motion. Its remaining tendrils whipped chaotically. Miso advanced without fear. His tail flicked once with fierce resolve. His entire body radiated steady brilliance. The white light pulsed in powerful waves. The fissure widened into a jagged tear. The shadow's roar crumbled into fragmented echoes. Its once massive shape began to collapse inward. Its limbs folded like brittle branches under heavy weight. Lena felt the air pressure shift abruptly. A gust of wind spiraled through the alley. The gust pulled at her hair and clothes with sharp intensity. Loose debris lifted from the ground. The tear in the shadow spread farther. A surge of light burst from it with explosive force. The blast sent tremors through the pavement. The walls shuddered with low groans. Lena shielded her eyes from the brightness. The light seared into her vision with overwhelming clarity. Her ears filled with a deep, vibrating hum. Her pulse raced without rhythm. Miso stood firm at the center of the chaos. The white glow enveloped him completely. It surged outward in expanding rings. Each ring carried a force that pushed the darkness back. The shadow writhed in collapsing motions. Its limbs snapped inward. Its torso folded like collapsing fabric. Its roar diminished into faint, dissolving whispers. The tear consumed its body layer by layer. Dark fragments peeled away into drifting dust. The dust scattered through the air with shimmering faintness. The remaining darkness shrank rapidly. The alley brightened. The sunlight broke through the fading gloom. Warmth returned to the air in gentle waves. Lena felt the pressure lift from her chest. The shadow continued shrinking. Its form lost all recognizable shape. It became a thin coil of darkness twisting aimlessly. The coil hovered in front of Miso like a dying breath. Miso stepped closer with steady calm. His white glow softened to warm gold again. He lowered his head slightly. He inhaled with deliberate intention. The coil quivered at the motion. A faint sound escaped from it. A quiet, fragile hum barely louder than a sigh. It drifted toward Miso in slow surrender. Lena watched with frozen awe. Her body remained rooted in place. Her heart pounded with relentless rhythm. Her breath trembled with each inhale. Miso touched the coil gently with the tip of his nose. The coil shuddered. Its dark surface rippled with soft pulses. It began to dissolve at the point of contact. The darkness evaporated into thin streams. The streams spiraled upward like faint smoke. Each wisp faded into the sunlight. The last of it drifted into the open sky. The alley grew silent. The trembling stopped. The dust settled on the ground in soft layers. Warm air brushed against Lena's cheeks. Miso stood quietly at the center of the alley. His fur glowed with gentle warmth. His breathing remained calm and controlled. His eyes shimmered with steady clarity. Lena took a slow step forward. Her muscles ached with tension. Her throat tightened with lingering fear. She whispered his name again. Miso turned his head toward her. His glow dimmed to a soft halo. His golden eyes softened with familiar warmth. He began to walk back toward her with relaxed steps. The alley felt different now. The air held a subtle vibration. The ground retained faint traces of warmth. A quiet stillness settled over everything. Lena knelt and opened her arms. Her breath wavered as Miso approached. Her fingertips trembled with relief. Her heartbeat steadied as he reached her. Miso rubbed his head against her hand. His fur hummed with lingering energy. She felt a gentle warmth travel up her arm. The warmth eased the tension in her chest. She looked around the alley. Nothing remained of the shadow. Only the cracked concrete and scattered dust marked the battle. The sunlight shone clearly once more. Yet something in the air felt unfinished. A faint vibration lingered at the edge of her senses. A subtle echo that had not yet faded. A quiet reminder that the danger was not entirely gone. Lena tightened her hold on Miso. Her breath steadied. Her thoughts sharpened. Something waited beyond the edge of the alley. Something watched. Something listened. Something waited for its moment to return. And Miso sensed it too. His ears perked. His tail flicked with silent awareness. His eyes turned toward the distant rooftops with calm vigilance. The day was bright again. The air was warm. The neighborhood had returned to normal. But the story had not reached its end. Lena held Miso close as they stepped out of the alley. The sunlight settled softly on their shoulders. The warmth felt real again. Not fragile. Not fading, simply warm. She took a slow breath. The metallic scent was gone. The vibrating hum no longer lingered in the air. Only the quiet rustle of leaves filled the moment. Miso walked beside her with calm certainty. His glow had faded entirely. Only his ordinary golden fur shimmered in the light. He looked like any other cat again. Lena paused at the edge of the street. She glanced back at the alley. The cracked pavement seemed harmless now. Just another forgotten corner of the neighborhood. Yet she knew what had happened there. She knew what Miso had faced. And she understood that the danger had been real. Terrifyingly real. Miso brushed against her leg. His gentle purr vibrated with reassurance. His eyes told her everything she needed to know. The threat was gone. For now. And that was enough. Lena bent down and lifted him into her arms. He settled against her chest with peaceful ease. His warmth soothed the last traces of fear inside her. They walked home slowly. The world around them felt brighter. Clearer. Kinder. Lena opened the door and stepped inside. The familiar scent of her home welcomed her. Miso leapt from her arms and trotted to his favorite spot by the window. He curled into a soft circle. His tail wrapped neatly over his paws. His eyes drifted half-closed with contentment. Lena watched him for a long moment. A quiet smile touched her lips. She understood something she never had before. Miso was not just her companion. He was her protector, her guardian in the quiet moments, her shield in the darkest ones. Outside, the neighborhood carried on in peaceful rhythm. Children laughed in the distance. Birds finally returned to their morning chatter. Life continued as though nothing had happened. Lena sat beside Miso. She rested her hand gently on his back. His purr deepened with warm appreciation. For the first time since the encounter, her heart felt truly calm. The world was safe. Her home was safe. She was safe. Because Miso had saved the day.